Hi book friends! Today's episode of Biblio Happy Hour is brought to you by Biblio Finder, a new online directory for independent bookstores. Biblio Finder allows users to find bookstores worldwide based on your current or planned location. Hi book friends! Welcome to Biblio Happy Hour, a podcast that's sharing bookseller stories, what's new in books, and everything bookish. I'm your host, Victoria Wood. In today's show, we'll be talking to Erin Moore, and she is the owner of the NEXT CHAPTER Books and Novelties, located in El Dorado, Kansas. Before I get started with today's show, I just wanted you to know that you can tune in to our new Biblio news segment every Monday right here on Biblio Happy Hour. We'll be sharing new releases for the week, other titles to look out for in future, bookstore events, and what's trending. Looking for more bookish content? You can listen to our off-the-cuff discussions, get our monthly top-shelf new release recommendations, behind-the-scenes content, perks, and more over on our Patreon page. Patreon allows listeners like you to support the show, plus it helps us to grow and embark on new and amazing projects for both the book and bookstore community. It's super easy, so check out the details and the different levels you can support us over at patreon.com/bibliofinder. And wherever you're listening to this podcast, please don't forget to share, subscribe, and leave us a rating and review. Alrighty everyone, let's talk with our guest. Erin, thank you so much for coming on the show, and welcome to Biblio Happy Hour.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
And we're so happy to have you here. So before we get started, really quick, are you a coffee or a tea person?
Honestly, I'm neither. I'm more of a water person. Even though I sell coffee out of the bookstore, I'm not a coffee drinker.
Alrighty, water is fine. Okay, so tell us a bit about your bookstore, where you're located, and share a bit about your town.
Well, we are, like you said, we're in El Dorado, Kansas, which is just outside of Wichita. That's probably a more well-known point in Kansas for people. El Dorado is a small community, about 13,000. Mm-hmm. It's right on El Dorado Lake, which is a huge vacation spot for folks out here. And it's nestled right on the edge of the Flint Hills, which are just gorgeous. People think of Kansas and think of flatlands, but come and take a look at the Flint Hills and you'd have a different idea of what Kansas looks like. So the bookstore itself has actually been there for about 12 years. I've only been the owner for just this last year. We just had our one-year anniversary 2 weeks ago, and so it's all been a new venture for us, although the store has been in place.
So what got you interested in the bookstore business? Why did you decide to just buy this bookstore?
Well, it's kind of an odd story, I guess. For the last 19 years, I've been an English teacher, and so of course books are a passion for me just naturally. And
yes.
Growing up and just my whole life, books have always been kind of a focus for me. In the last year, my husband and I started an appliance repair business, and the plan was that after a couple more years, I would quit teaching and run the office for him on the appliance side of things. And we have a little local bookstore that we go to here right near our house, and went in one day and the owner said she was trying to sell and nobody was buying, and she was thinking she was going to have to close it down. And that kind of got this conversation going between us about, man, wouldn't it be great to own a bookstore? That'd be so fun. Oh, that could never happen. And that conversation just kind of kept coming back and it wouldn't go away. And next thing you knew, we were kind of figuring out dollars and deciding maybe we could make this thing work. And here we are.
Did you always envision yourself as a bookstore owner? I mean, yes, it sounds like books, and reading and being an English teacher was always, a part of your life. But did you actually see this end result, you being a bookstore owner?
No, that was never really on the, I've always been, ever since I was little, I always knew I was going to be a teacher. And so that's all I ever worked towards, all I ever focused on. And And then that's all I did for most of 20 years. And I loved it. It was great. And I think it was a good fit for me. When this opportunity came up, we just kind of couldn't turn it down. So
when you told your friends and family, okay, we're going to do this bookstore business, what were they thinking?
They thought we were crazy. In this day of Amazon and the big box stores, you know, people think, well, are indies still a thing? You know, is that a viable career choice? And, you know, don't get me wrong. We're not getting rich off of this venture by any means. But being as I started my life as a teacher, money wasn't ever really my goal.
Correct. Yep.
So, you know, we pay the bills and a little past that, and that's it, but that's fine. And friends and family were accepting and supportive, but they were pretty incredulous too, that they just weren't sure this was a good idea. And what about benefits, and what about retirement, and, you know, all kinds of things like that. And for us, it was just kind of a dream come true. My husband and I are both huge readers, and, you know, we just expanded our library by about 20,000 titles. So
yes, absolutely. I can definitely see that happening. And yes, you know, we're in the Amazon economy and the big box bookstores, but still, indies are here and we want indies to stay.
And we offer something that those other guys can't. I mean, that you mentioned community earlier, and that's a real focal point for me, as I'm trying to build community and provide places of community in our town. And you can't do that online. You can't do that even at the big stores. You know, they're too sterile and they're not personable the way that the little guys like us are.
Hey guys, listen to the full podcast episode over on our Patreon page. So Patreon allows listeners like you to support the show, as well as our online directory for independent bookstores. You'll also get additional perks for joining, such as discount codes for some awesome products and services. You'll be able to share your input and submit questions for the show, get behind the scenes content, weekly business updates, shout outs, plus lots more. That's patreon.com/BiblioFinder. I'm really looking forward to talking with you there.